Hello and welcome to the Hexagon TTRPG. I'm Peter, your host, and welcome to another episode of The Eye's End, episode 4. Last week we introduced our 4 lovely heroes played by Brent, CJ, Robert, and Laryssa,
Yay.
and they prepared themselves to journey across the Dewharst Desert. 2-week journey, 1 week by ship across the glasslands aboard a sand sail, and another week trekking it through the Black Desert. I think during that time, there'll be a little bit of tension between the two siblings, Taurus and Lyria. But before we get to that, let's find out what Misha and Neslin have been up to. So welcome, guys. And what have you been up to?
Hi, good to
Hi.
be back for another week.
Same
Good
old.
to have you back.
I imagine, Misha being Druid, uh, she immediately starts interacting with the two dinosaurs. I
Of
forgot what
course.
you called them, but she's feeding them, she's grooming them, however you would groom a reptile, maybe help them shed their skin or something, bits from the eyelids. And I can't imagine there's any space for practicing baking or anything like that on the ship. So, probably just mostly interacting with the animals and checking out the landscape because she's never really been in the desert before. So, all this is new to her.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. You can be below deck with the 2 raptors. One of them knows you and is incredibly excited to see you. Do you have a name for this one?
Ooh, I get to name them?
Yeah, you had named it, but just you can pick a new name because I don't remember what your name.
Yeah, me
It's been
neither.
a while. It's been a while.
Ha. I gotta go with the obvious. One of them's gonna be named Sandy.
Sandy.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Sandy's a boy.
Yay.
And the other one, though, doesn't know you. So just go ahead and give me an animal handling
Animal
as you're taking care
handling.
of these 2.
All right, let's get this D20 out, baby.
Can Urnos give her the help action?
Uranos?
Yeah.
I think Uranos actually is kind of freaking out the raptors. Not that they're scared of Uranos, but they're kind of like hungry looking at Uranos.
It is half bird.
Yeah,
Whoop.
they kind of get like a little antsy and tippity tappy with their feet when Uranos shows up below deck. Yeah, below.
And then you probably shoot Urnos away out of here.
So I did get a 12. Thankfully, I
Okay.
had 10 animal handling, but not a great roll.
Okay. So yeah, Sandy's acting like a puppy with you, and then the other one is just kind of like glassy-eyed, full-on reptile, just like doesn't really interact with you much. If you like give it a little, I don't know, how you're feeding them or you're tending to them. You said
Oh, yeah.
grooming,
Yeah, maybe
giving
a
them a little pedicure.
little pedicure, maybe helping scrape off some shed skin. Maybe they're shedding or something like that. And
Yeah.
polishing their scales.
All right. So it allows you to do it. This one also doesn't have a name, so you can name it as well.
Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, first one's Sandy. Can I make another pun? Sunny.
Oh,
It's the desert sun. Ever so present.
Sunny D.
Sunny D.
Sandy and Sunny getting a nice grooming, enjoying your company.
Good buddies. Who's a good raptors?
And Neslin, how about you?
So I was thinking, it's dark, right? Currently, are we traveling the night?
It's
I remember we had trouble seeing. That's pretty like. Is that possible?
no. Yeah, the ship moves with the daylight. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, it could be day. It's day at the moment. You guys are traveling.
So I think, yeah, Nezun will be below deck, and maybe in some corner with pulling out all his knickknacks from his bag of holding, and he's kind of like checking out his stock, and he's like documenting his stock of all his little weird, like knickknacks and like mushrooms and people, I guess, like other people observing would probably be like, oh, he's definitely gonna throw that out, and you see him like re-put like the trash back into his bag, and just that's what he's basically doing.
Okay. So yeah, you're kind of curled up, cross-legged on top of the center portion of this catamaran. You're kind of out of the way of the two sailors. Each one sort of mans one half of the catamaran, and there's like two sails that kind of come up over the center. So you have like a ample space there for yourself to go through your things and manage your belongings. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for or trying to do? Also, I heard there's a mason jar, so thank you.
You can't see my awesome cup, but it is a purple cup with lots of bunnies on it. Not in the jar.
Yeah, anything in particular you're looking at, Nesla? No?
No, just
Going through your
reorganizing
things?
because he has a bad memory, so he's making sure that he's not hoarding too much stuff, kind of thing. Yeah, he hasn't cleaned out his inventory since level like 1.
Yeah, you've got a lot of garbage in there.
Whoa.
Wow.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Gnome's trash.
Then everything is jerky to Neslin.
Jerky is treasure, and treasure is jerky.
I mean jerky.
One man's jerky is also Neslin's jerky.
Every man's jerky is Neslin's jerky.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. So the two of you are enjoying your time aboard the ship. And so we'll move over to Lyria and Taurus. How are you guys spending your time aboard the ship?
Each to their own catamaran side.
Word.
If we're separated for like a few hours on the first day, he would probably come and see you. Like, and like he would kind of look like can I sorry.
Yeah, and I think Lyria gives you space for a bit, and so she's just kind of playing with Urnos. Urnos scampers off, comes back to her all frightened of being eaten by the dinosaur, so she's like soothing him. Looks up at you. Oh, Taurus. Hey.
Yes. How is Urnos?
He seems to be a little frustrated and slightly fearful of the dinosaurs. He like scratches chin, keeps telling me that if he was his full size, he could take them. And I keep telling him that we shouldn't be fighting the fellow mounts.
Urnos is a mighty beast. Surely he could slay any creature under your command.
He like puffs his chest out.
Mm-hmm.
There
he goes
Raptors,
again.
Sorry, there's a
It's her
dog
nose.
barking loud.
It's the raptors.
Below deck.
Oh, these darn raptors.
I must say, I'm surprised to see you join us so quickly. I did not know your duties in Duhast would be able to be abandoned.
I think I make eye contact with you, like kind of a hard look, before looking away and saying, I didn't abandon my duties. I made sure that Duhast had everything it needed for its development in the near future. It bears deep wounds from the war now.
I think he was in the doorway, so he'll actually slide in and look for something to sit on if he can sit on something. I only meant abandon because that is what I did, and I did not mean to put that word on you.
I don't see it that way for you, brother. I look, back to you. A lot has changed in the last 2 months. I've been gone, and when I came back, I realized how I had changed. And I've been seeing you go through that in real time.
Scruff my beard that I've never had before in my life. It's strange. Change for us, it's not exactly common, but perhaps that's been the problem.
I don't think elves are meant for great, momentous change. We're meant for epic change over long periods of time. But we will adapt.
It's good to hear.
I've heard a rumor.
Is someone trying to take you off the throne?
No. I heard a rumor that you've taken a new last name.
Yes, I meant to speak to you of that, of course. It's just, I was thinking of the words for the last 2 months, and I haven't quite gotten them all just yet. Perhaps I never will. It's a strange feeling for me to do something simply because I want to do it. And I know that's something you've always pushed for me to do. I feel awful having no grand reason with evidence behind it and with good intelligence before I make it. I simply just wanted to rid myself of the Zen name, and I found it easy after that.
I think you see Lyria wince as you say, rid yourself of the Zen name. And she says, well, how do you pronounce it? What is it?
It is the drow word for protector. He like like purposefully mumbles it.
Like your Twitch. Well, I'm just gonna make a little perception check for myself to see if I caught it, because I'm listening so attentively. 17. I think Lyria hears you and doesn't ask you to say it again properly. And just nods.
I think I watch you kind of take that moment, and I remember my conversation with the dragon Ayer, and how he told me to it's something to be proud of. So maybe I stand up a little. Gisir, protector. It felt like something I wanted to become, and so I gave it to myself.
You see Lyria kind of stop for a moment and go, is that how you pronounce that word? I've only read it. I thought it was Jizir.
Perhaps I too have read it in books, but
oh, how embarrassing! This is one of the ones I haven't had to say out loud too many times.
Yes, strangely enough, I felt as though it was my duty to protect my city, and I realized the word for protection was something I'd never used before.
Why don't you guys both give me history checks right now? Let's figure out how it's pronounced.
The higher number wins.
Almost money.
Is it for
Age-old debate.
17.
17.
21.
So, how is it pronounced, Queen?
um,
I'm not gonna
I think in a subtle nod towards CJ's last character, I like Jazir, the softer G for Jacques.
Jacques.
poor Jacques, my
Jacques.
bestie?
Jazir.
Rest in pieces, my man.
But perhaps the ring of Jazir sounds better.
I think she looks at you with a proud and sad expression on her face. I think Laryssa's not trying to hide anything from her brother. But she gets up and says, "Well, just gonna go scout for a little while. I'll be back. We'll have plenty of opportunities to talk about your newfound intent and role and what awaits."
Yes. And you as well. Curious to know the state that we've left Duhast in.
Kind of like touch your shoulder briefly as I pass. Well, I'm a diplomat now and I serve the city. So in some ways, not too much has changed.
Good luck.
I'll go scout and then we'll probably have another conversation on a different day. We're here for 2 weeks, so I don't know how many of these we want to do in a row.
It can happen over the course of several days or the 2 weeks. But yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Apparently, we have a Bane for Taurus on his next roll.
Oh, thank you.
I wonder who we can thank for that.
Whoever it is, thank you. I'm not keeping an eye on chat at the moment, so.
Yeah, but I think the other conversations are just maybe lighter a little bit. Now that we've started talking, we probably talk a little bit more often. We don't mind rubbing elbows as we, help around the ship and whatnot.
I think he would at least make one thing clear, is that like the Zen name and you as like his sister are two separate things. Over the course of like the 10 days, like he'll never say anything about like trying to distance himself from you. Like he's very interested in what you've done in those 2 months and stuff, and he has no ill will towards you.
Yeah, so maybe we don't have to roleplay it, but I think Lyria will tell you freely, what was going on politically and like trying to set the city up to be independent of the magical crutch that it was dependent on before. And I think she's very careful in the way that she says it because she knows that the Pental is so important to you, like still. And so she avoids mentioning the like sacrificial nature of the magic, and also the responsibility that she thinks that the Zens have. And so I think even though you make it clear to her that she and the Zens are different for you, I think that from Lyria you get no comment on that. Yeah, and I think you see like she's a diplomat and she's leaving Dewhurst, but you can tell she feels a lot of responsibility towards the city, and like she has a heavy duty laid upon her despite leaving.
Okay. Damn.
Yeah, so probably pretty. Yeah, want to work hard. I think Lyria's like getting calluses on her hands, pulling ropes and things, and doing the best she can. And I think that Lyria would like to, at some point during our voyage, get everybody together and like take out a map and like look at Windrow on the map, and try to like start talking about like, right, does anyone have any ideas about what exactly we're going to do when we get to Windrow?
Well, I suppose first we should investigate, see where all these riots and commotions are perhaps congregating most. Scope out information as much as we can.
We should talk to the people. They'll know what to do.
Hopefully they'll want to talk to us.
Yeah. So she's like looking at it, thinking, can I maybe make a history check in terms of like, do I know anything about the trade of Windrow or like anything useful about their socio-political status of some sort?
Yeah, go ahead.
Would I be able to give her advantage, or would Taurus not
wanna help?
have any knowledge of that?
No, I think that you can definitely help her.
Now, because he has a bane, does that come into effect right away? And he actually doesn't help her?
No, he's not making a roll yet. He's not making a roll.
Gotcha.
On the
His
help roll.
roll.
Jeez. Oh, I think I just rolled 3 14s in a row. That's really weird in and of itself.
What are the odds?
But that's a 21 total.
21. Yeah, so you know that Windrow is a hub. It's like a marketplace, and it is the city of guilds. So all of the largest guilds in Hearth are all stationed within Windrow. It's very in terms of their the services and the commodities and the products that they make. They basically compete directly with Hearthforge. So they're incredibly skilled craftsmen and artisans and all sorts of entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And you know that it was founded by Drow who had left Dewharst, a family that once ruled Dewharst, the Windrow family, House Windrow. And as a matter of fact, the queen at the time was named Laryssa Windrow.
Huh.
So you were named after her.
Windrow win. Slay, yas. Laryssa Windrow. Okay, so I let everybody know, kind of like pacing around the map. Kind of, this is the city of guilds, and you know everything that the DM just said. Essentially, just repeating it all. So there will be non-guilds people here, and so this is like a city. Like this
It's a city.
This is not a small town. This is a city.
Do we roughly know how many guilds? Or does that depend on like history checks as well?
There are quite a few. You can't say for certain how many there are now.
Yeah, I don't think Nisha would.
There's probably, some main ones. You know that the city is sort of ruled, well, not ruled, but they're led by the guild lords. So like the head of each guild, of all the major guilds, sort of work together for the good of the city. But you can't say that you don't have a specific number in mind.
Do I know how big the city is in terms of either population or just like size or influence on other places? Just roughly.
You have a vague idea. It's smaller than Dewharst. Dewharst has a lot of people in it. But when you had studied, it was when you were younger. So maybe your more like recent idea of it, you really can't say for certain.
Yeah, my most recent idea is we need to establish a trade route all the way to Windrow, but we haven't even established any sort of communication with them. Yeah, probably looking back on like historical records, and it's like, why did we never do anything about this? And they're just like, that's fucking dumb. Yeah. So I think I say in response to what Misha was saying, we probably should check in with the guilds, at least the guild heads on the main council. And that might give us a good idea of which kind of guilds are of which opinion, at least.
Mm.
And then if we could also get an opinion from the people who are not part of a guild, the guildless, then I'd say that we'd start to have a good idea of the perception of the rebellion and the perception of Xanabin in the city.
Piece together everything. I wonder if we ought to split up for the guilds. For each guilds, try to cover as much ground as we can.
Yeah,
Or if it's best to stay together.
Lyria like sits back and is like toying with the magical dirk from the Black Desert. I actually have an idea with that.
Do tell.
Well, since I'm a diplomat from Dewhurst, the highest authority, I figured that it would be interesting to come in and announce that and talk about unity and trade with the guilds and gather their opinions up front. And I think that it would behoove us to have a second force who's not affiliated with this official visit to perhaps gather different information from people who observe.
A second force. Is she talking about the raptors?
I'm potentially talking about those who will agree with any naysayers in the crowd or sit back and comment on, what's this about these drow coming to town?
I'll do it.
Neslin getting the rumor mill going.
Well, I figured that Taurus and I, since we're drow and the members, the two members of the crew of the ship, since we're all drow, it would look pretty, official and normal that we're drow from Dewhurst. And Misha and Neslin, seeing as you're different and maybe not native to the sands of Dewhurst, that it would make more sense that you were the ones who are taking advantage of our diversion.
I agree.
Excellent
I'm more
plan.
comfortable on the ground too.
Yeah, and I don't do so well with politics. So I think that's a pretty good idea. I'd expect nothing less from you, Lyria.
Neslin isn't impressed with the plan, actually.
I look over at Taurus. Shall we be political avant-gardes for Dewhurst and Windrow?
I had asked Air for a barber. He hasn't provided it yet. I feel I may put them off with my excessive beard.
Put your bag over your head again.
Ah, of course.
No, please.
Neslin pulls out a
Please
rusty blade, like a razor. That's like freaking. You need help?
Serrated doll.
Sure that the people of Windrow will welcome the protector Jazir and as a messenger of the city, and welcome me as a messenger of the great houses. Perhaps we could represent different interests of Dewhurst.
I like it.
I read something in the old scrolls one time. Good cop, bad cop.
What's a cop?
Yes,
I
what is
don't know, but it was like one was being good and nice, and one was being more gruff. So maybe you and I can flip for it. But
flip? I'd have to take my armor off first.
Neslin laughs.
That's
There's like a delayed pause, and he finally gets it, like the click, and he's like, "Oh,
Ow.
nice one."
Someone smack him in game. Just smack over the head.
Lyra face palms. Yeah, I guess with my nimble fingers, I grab a coin. Wait, do I even have any money? Yeah, I got some money. Grab
I hope so.
a gold coin.
Does the ex-princess of Dewhurst have money?
Mason jar.
Mason jar.
Ah, my voice is so much better now.
Moist.
Grab a coin and flip it. How do we want to do this?
You don't have a coin to flip?
No, I'll roll a d20 or something, but do we want to do evens? I call evens for good cop.
Very well. This is exciting. It's
Roll
like a
that
game.
dice.
Okay, roll. 20!
Oh my god. Waste.
She's a pure soul. The princess has spoken.
Well, aren't I just so good?
I feel
Neslan
like
nods.
Irea is like a little bit too kind in ways to be bad cop.
Wow, wait a minute.
She's tough, but
She's Queen Lyria. She could be anything.
Well, if I had to be tough, I would be more of a. I think she thinks for a moment, and just says like a roguish character, and I think you hear a little hint of like the thieves can't slip into her voice in that moment. That kind of like Cockney accent. I learned a thing or two while I was out, but I shan't have to use it here.
let's hope.
Goodness.
Gracious.
So,
Stop that.
Finishing sentences.
That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say, goodness me.
goodness gracious.
All right. I roll up the map. Then we have a plan. Just be sure to hide yourselves when we get there, and perhaps we can, as we leave the ship, you can leave separately after, as we draw a crowd in the eyes of those observing.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely be surprised to see some royalty there. Do we share the same hotel too? I suppose we should get separate hotels, separate inns.
Would be best. I guess. Oh, how are we going to communicate? Oh, this is becoming such a problem. You give me
Wait.
like good ideas.
Do we still have those stones? The chattering stones? I forgot what they were called. I think we had them in Hearthforge.
The Hearthstones?
Yeah. Well,
Don't say that.
they're not Hearthstones, but
Demonetize.
Sponsors.
you do. A few of you do. I feel like Misha definitely has. Does anyone have in their actual inventory?
I have the cantrip message, so I can communicate
Yeah.
like with
I'll
visually.
I'll say that you guys have two of these stones. They're little like pink stones.
Yeah, I feel like Nez and I would have, because I do not believe Lyria and Taurus existed during Hearthforge.
They weren't born. They were 1 year old.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So Neslin and Misha, you each have one, and you know that when you get close to Hearthforge, you'll be able to communicate to the other stone.
It's cool.
I shall offer mine up to Taurus. Taurus, please take this. And I hand it to him. These are stones in which we can communicate. Neslin, maybe Neslin shouldn't have the other one.
No, I don't think so.
I'm
is
just looking. I'm looking at my hands.
Do you
Trying
just
to
keep
cook
it
it.
on you, or does it go?
You know
no.
what?
I show him like how flight attendants do their like demo. So Neslin's like with the stone, and then he goes like, "Hello."
It like echoes because it's catching the other one. Hello, hello, hello.
That's horrid.
Ah!
Very well. I shall communicate with you. But wait, what if we are in a compromising situation and we give away our position by blaring loud on this device? This
Don't
stone?
worry. We have our own codes, Well, I have my own codes. I don't know about you guys.
I suppose we'll keep it for emergencies then, if we absolutely need to communicate.
What's the code word?
Pancakes.
Perhaps
For danger.
an animal call, something inconspicuous.
That's very inconspicuous.
The gentle purring of a sand cat, perhaps.
Can Misha imitate a sand cat?
Make a
Okay, we all try.
performance.
Oh.
Ah, performance.
Roar.
You have a boon though.
Oh, I
You want
do.
to, or is it you want to, or is it you have? Yeah, I think it's you have to.
It's on your next roll. You forgot. Well, we all forgot to do it on your
Uh,
animal handling check
13.
with advantage.
Yes, my other roll was a 12, and I have 0 performance.
I'll do it.
So I mean, you do a fairly decent call. Can you give us an example? Come on, you got
Like-
it. 13's better than that.
Well, she's never really been in the desert. You know, complete opposite climates.
What animal is it?
Sand cat.
It's a sad cat.
Sand cat.
What do you think a sand cat sounds like?
Oh, a sand cat.
Meow.
Oh, I thought you said a sad cat.
Oh. Meow.
It's me, sad. I'm sad.
Well, then-
I'm
I'm a cat.
sad to cute. Meow. That's dramatic.
The whoa.
Meow
Right, well.
is me.
This is perfect. We have our communication, our
Our safe word.
how can I say this? Our per tone.
Perfect.
tone.
Not a ringtone, a per tone. All right.
Don't understand.
What is this?
I whispered to him. I explained the joke.
So in an alternate universe, there's these things called ringtones. Shira told me about it when she passes through the portals.
What?
What? The
Sure mentioned something about this.
Well,
Right. Yeah. How long does it take us? Where are we on our journey?
Are we there?
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Yeah.
Are you there?
There yet?
The rest of the journey happens. These talks are sprinkled throughout the journey. Neslin gets his pack completely sorted.
For now.
Misha becomes excellent friends with the raptors. Taurus, at some point, one of the sailors, Eldir, comes up to you and he sort of just like hands you a clean razor blade. And he goes, I happen to overhear that you might need to freshen up.
You look like a bum.
Yes, please. If you will, yes, please.
Yeah, he kind of presses it up against your chest and he goes, it's yours. Keep it.
I thought they were gonna kiss, bro. You just like pressed it against his chest all romantically.
Yes, shaving my own beard, something I've done many times.
I'll do it for you. Can I roll for a?
Oh no!
No, can I try to like convince him? Please, can I convince him, please? I want to like. I'll roll. I'm gonna roll for it. Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't done
Roll,
a roll
wait,
yet.
roll for what?
Persuasion.
I haven't agreed to anything.
Oh, you really
Persuasion.
want to convince Taurus?
I wanna do
Taurus,
his
how are
beard.
you feeling right now?
I don't want Neslin anywhere near my.
But he's
that.
so enthusiastic.
Yeah, like I'm against them. I'm like, please. I used to do all the deep gnomes back in my town.
Shave your own beard first.
It makes me think of the good old days, back when I was 12 years old. My beard.
12-year-old beard.
Please, just show me on yourself before you.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it myself. But actually, I won't shave though. I'm just gonna shave my bald head.
He barely has any hairs left. They're still growing back. Got like
How
Okay,
often
there's-
does Neslin shave? Because he had a huge beard before he singed it off. How many years does he go before he shaves?
What's shaving?
There's
Exactly.
the answer.
So go ahead and make me a sleight of hand as you start shaving your head.
Oh no.
Whoa, I'm not shaving my own head. Whoa, take it easy.
Whose head are you shaving?
I'm like air shaving. I wanted like if there's like a fake head.
Oh,
Like I'm trying to like air shave it to demonstrate it to him.
okay. So
Does that make
he,
sense? Like I'm showcasing my technique.
he shadow shaves for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that.
Okay.
No.
And it just looks like he's doing hand gestures in the air.
Yes.
Maybe he's casting a spell. You can't really tell.
Oh, can you do it with magic?
Yeah.
How the priestesses usually did it.
magic or?
It's like a pause. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Oh no.
Hold on. Check my spells, guys.
It's a simple cantrip, I'm sure.
Oh, I have Mage Hand actually. I use Mage Hand and take the blade. Is that possible?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like close my eyes.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Okay.
Misha's like biting her nails.
Wait,
watching this.
that's what he meant, right? Mage Hand with the blade, and then I'll
yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna have to give me that sleight of hand check in the end.
Quick, someone,
Okay, yeah, sure.
someone redeem a Bane.
What sleight of hand though? What's like
No!
a
So scared. I'm so scared.
15?
Exposed.
15. Okay. I mean, you're not trying to do anything fancy. You're literally just shaving his face.
Yeah.
With a 15, you shave his face. It takes a little while, and it's kind of painful because you don't have any like cream or balm to put on
Or
his face.
do I? I'm joking. I pull out some like toad oil or something.
His own natural oils. Just like just under his armpit.
Wait, hold on. Actually, hold on. I might actually have something. Let me check, guys. Give me a second.
Oh no.
That's
Premium
That's what
deep
beard oil
gnome
means,
Oh,
right?
also-
Oil
Jam.
from
I
it.
got
Don't
a
say it,
slime.
no.
I got a slime jelly flask. Does that work?
Slime
jelly?
jelly flask.
Does that work for this situation?
Why and how did you get slime jelly flask?
I think I killed some. It's easier or some juice. This slightly would be better.
Yeah, you
That
can
sounds
make
like
me
lubricant.
yeah, make me an arcana, or you can use your tools. Your
Yeah, I'll do
alchemist tools.
Arcana roll.
Okay.
10. Bit
10.
on the risky one.
Well, you know that the slimes are often acidic, and
Ouch.
you think it might be worse if you slap this on his face.
Okay, no, then don't do this.
It might actually work like Nair or something. It might just get rid of all the hair.
Oh, like this removes it out?
Yeah, it's just like it all falls off. But you can't be certain.
No, he doesn't do it. He wants to make sure he looks presentable for the meeting.
Oh my gosh.
Taurus, when you open your eyes, maybe there's a mirror nearby, where some like a hand mirror that you could look at yourself. And he did a fine job. You're clean shaven.
Thank you.
This one's like blushing for how proud he is. He's like,
Aww.
what can I say? I knew I could do a good job.
I put my hand out. I was not sure how to feel about you, Neslin, but you've done a good job here, and it's more than I could ask for myself. So, hey,
I give him the and instead of just shaking his hand, I give him like the freaking weird handshake.
Oh, the snail.
Yeah.
Is there still
give
like
him, like-
slime on his hands too? So
Kind of burns, yeah. You both take 1 point of damage.
poison damage.
Acid damage.
Acid damage.
My lips are like a different color.
Your skin on your palms is all like wrinkly, as if like you've been sitting in water for a really long time.
Ugh.
I feel dried out now.
I guess I'll put that one away. All right, successful. We're good.
Beautiful. And so the remainder of your journey passes. When you arrive at the Black Desert, the sailors see you off and provide you with the provisions needed for the trek. All of your meals and rations are on your person, and they set sail back towards Dewhurst. You travel on foot the remainder of the way through the Black Desert, and you're familiar with it. Taurus and Neslin, you spent time there alone, and all together you traveled as a group, passing through it. You know that there are wild magic storms in the Black Desert, but luckily you have 2 raptors that have evolved to adapt to these chaotic storms. And so they have special frills that open up and project a sort of rainbow-like light that keeps the storm away from your group as you travel. So these are not mounts. They're actually quite small, these raptors. And but staying close to them keeps you safe.
Can I put one on my shoulder?
Are they small size? Sorry.
No, they're medium, but they're like relatively short and skinny.
Can I
They
put
don't
one
really
on
have the
my
mass
shoulders?
to carry someone. Pardon me?
Can I put one on my shoulders, like a piggyback ride?
Yeah, I mean you could,
This way we
but
can cover more ground.
cover more ground. Oh, you
It's
mean because
high.
like they'll be higher up?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Well, Sandy.
Sandy.
Sandy likes you, so you can make an animal handling check with
Yay.
Sandy. And normally I would say it would be a disadvantage, but he likes you.
Yay. 26.
Yeah, he just hops onto your shoulders,
Hey.
just sitting there
Woohoo.
barking away. Neslin, you remember these dinosaurs? You had spent some alone time in the desert while the rest of your party was fighting the forces of Xanabin and Duharst.
Yeah, I remember.
And so you remember them. They had kind of taken a liking to you, the pack that you had found. So being with these things is, it's familiar to you. But you have a unique connection to wild magic, being a wild magic sorcerer. So you are not particularly safe from the wild magic. So traveling through here, I would like you to roll a few wild magic rolls for me.
Uh-oh.
Okay. D100s,
And these will happen over the course of the week. It's a D100. And we'll start with one. You'll do three, but we'll start with the first one. See what happens. I got
Dang, he's
I
got
got my
his,
wild magic sheets here.
his
I do want to
list.
say something right before you roll, because this is something I was deciding, and it may get affected. I'm going to pull the cord on Urnos, so Urnos is in full griffin form, walking with us, so it'll probably affect him too. And just for you to know, when I was looking at the griffin sheet, he has a passive perception of 20.
Nice.
So he's
Good to know. Thank you.
Wild magic. Wild magic.
I got a 57.
57.
Right in the middle.
I love these rolls.
Okay. The storm affects you. Your wild magic surges and leeches out towards one of your companions. Now there's Uranos, so it's like Brent said, it very well may affect Uranos. So let's see here. I will roll a d6. If I get a 1, I will re-roll.
Did you get a 1? You die.
Well, I got a 1.
Well, there.
5 is Uranos.
Oh no!
So this one affects Uranos. You see the effect like leap off of Neslin, and it reaches out towards Uranos. But for the remainder of the journey, you can kind of communicate with Uranos, right, Lyria? Like you basic communication. And Misha, you can talk to animals as a druid.
As long as I cast
maybe?
it, yes.
Oh, you have to cast it, yes. Okay. Well, I'll let be since you roleplay Uranos, Ren. Basically, for the entire rest of the journey, well, it really won't affect anybody, but I'll just let you know what happens. Uranos can't tell the truth. Uranos is forced to lie for the
I was
next
like,
week.
it's like whatever.
Yeah, it really
in
it's
retrospect,
not that bad.
in retrospect, that was the best person it could happen to.
Yeah, actually, no.
That's actually the worst. I wanted Urnos to scout, and now Urnos is gonna be like, I don't see anything.
Oh no!
He's just like always like eyes completely wide, like maybe looking in two directions at once, like doesn't know how to react because it's an animal.
Like patting Urnos, like, oh no, like Neslin, what did your magic do?
I'm not sure. I think I'm fine though. So is everyone okay?
Urnos, are you okay? And he's like,
What a relief!
oh, okay.
Oh, I guess
He
we
seems
shall
all right.
continue on.
Are you hungry, Urnos? He's like, oh, maybe something
No.
is wrong. He's always hungry. I'll keep an eye on him.
Beautiful. Why don't you go make that second roll, Neslin?
Wild magic. Wild
Wild
magic.
magic.
Oh,
Wild.
25 of perfect quarter.
25.
Vein sank.
Unfortunately, at one point throughout your journey, everyone becomes covered in grease. Neslin erupts in a deluge of thick, like sticky grease.
Wait, where's this coming from?
From
Good.
you.
Is
It's your
this-
grease. It's Neslin grease.
Is this
Is
really
it like
abnormal?
is it like out of my hands? Like what's happening? Just
No, it sort of erupts off of you.
okay.
Yeah, and the wild magic sort of takes shape and becomes grease and splashes onto
Hold on,
everyone.
Neslin,
All your
can you-
equipment and gear soaked.
Does the dirt is like the dirt? Is it picking up the dirt and all the grease is like being like mangled to with like the like?
Yeah, you're walking through a
Grass.
desert, so like the
what I'm
location
saying, all
where
the
you're
sand
at just
will be, like,
becomes
clumped
into the-
like soaked in it. Yeah.
Sand is clumping up.
So
Oh,
you just
that's
like "Wah!"
Yeah.
Grease everywhere.
It just explodes.
Oh. I just
I-
immediately prestidigitation myself. Ordos. Anybody? Like, all right, one by one.
Oh, I can feel it in between my scales.
Yes,
Hey guys, look!
between
I
the
can make
plates of my armor. Actually,
I'm like, hey guys, look! I can make a grease ball. I'm making like a snowman out of a grease, like with the sand. I'm like rolling it up the hill. Hey guys, look at.
Would you like me to clean you as well, Neslin?
It'll go away with the rain. But then it's a joke because
Neslin, as you're rolling up a ball of grease, I'm gonna say you get 1 unit of black sandstone.
Sandstone.
Yeah, black sandstone,
Minecraft
which is a
block.
crafting material.
Okay. The Neslin special.
I think Misha wants to try cooking some bacon on him. Just put him in the hot pot.
Yeah, actually, what kind of grease is it? 'Cause actually, is it animal grease? Like,
It's
I mean, do I smell good? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
is it like
magic
bacon fat?
grease.
questions you never thought you'd be asked as a DM.
Is it synthetic
Yeah,
grease? Is it arcane grease?
it's grease that has been like created through the arcane. So it doesn't necessarily it doesn't have like an actual source.
Arcane
It just
grease.
came into existence.
Is
Someone
it like his, but
Someone
like
get me an
amplified?
engine.
It's
Quick!
very slick, kind of, but like it's
Oh.
slippery. You can tell that you could probably ignite it.
And
Can I
yeah.
lubricate the jet with a little arcane grease?
The choice, it got lubricated.
That's probably like petroleum jelly. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like maybe it's like
Vaseline.
Vicks. It's good for my nose too. Has a nice
Oh.
little, has like a lavender smell.
Roll for the mix.
Ever good. Yeah, he deals with the grease. Keeps walking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laryssa.
No problem.
Yeah, that sets you back some time though, having to clean everyone off.
Beans.
Yeah, because I think it's like it's a foot per 6 seconds.
Yeah, this was I mean, you're only cleaning each other, but it was a 45 by 45 cube of grease.
Holy guacamole.
It's a lot of grease.
For everybody and everything.
Good thing it wasn't in a tavern or something. That would have been like I'm not drinking like a pint or something, and it's like poof, just like the whole everyone inside.
It probably gives you a sour eye and is like, you should taste it.
Ugh.
Oh, was that your
Probably-
curiosity?
It's probably so good. And then I want to like press to digitate like the smell of like bacon from like one patch of grease.
Yeah, we'll try it.
Ugh.
Neslin eats a piece of like the fresh grease that's on his face.
I don't know what magic grease would taste like.
No.
What does it taste like?
It's like wild magic grease, so it's like infectious.
That's Peter's problem now.
it's like weirdly spicy, but also kind of flavorless. It kind of like stings your tongue, you know.
Tastes like wasabi.
Beautiful. And go ahead and make that.
Wild magic. Wild magic. Wild magic.
100.
Oh.
Exactly 100. Right on the
What
dot.
the
You're not lying right now, right?
No, look, you
No.
guys can see it. I rolled it in the
My
D&D Beyond.
This is
God.
either really
You
good
just
or
Never
really
seen 100 roll.
You just gave yourself a free boon, my friend.
Woo!
No way! Wow.
So what's a boon
So,
again?
you have advantage on the next roll you make.
Wow.
But because this is kind of rare, we'll say that you can choose when to use it. You essentially have a point of inspiration.
Inspiration.
Hot tamales.
That's all thanks to the grace.
All the chaotic magic of the storm kind of gets funneled into you, and you feel invigorated.
It's got like holy light. Holy
That's pretty
backlight.
cool, actually. No more grease. Sorry, guys.
No more grease. Can't believe you got 100.
No more grief.
Good thing it wasn't on
No
one of
more
these other
grease.
sheets.
Wow, you could have chose that one.
These are minor wild magic effects. I have
Oh,
I have
wow.
scaling wild magic screens
Minor.
depending on the spell level you use. So the remainder of your journey goes without a hitch. I mean, obviously not including the grease and Uranos lying.
Oh yeah.
I have
Once
Zone
that
of
last-
Truth. I wonder how that would work.
Are they constantly in effect?
Just no. Like if I had cast it, I just can't talk, can't lie,
Yeah.
can't tell the truth.
Oh, God.
Like,
Literally a paradox.
torture. Yeah, it sounds like torture. But after your journey through the Black Desert, you make your way through the edge of Hearth and up towards Windrow, the city of guilds. As you approach the gate of the city after your journey, you notice two black towers on either side of the gate. Kind of, Taurus and Lyria, you notice right away that it has a slight architectural touch of Dewhurst design in it. These towers are skinny, narrow, inverted pyramids, or upside down pyramids, I should say, with the top a large flat base with a canopy over it for archers and spellcasters to guard the city from up high. The gate itself is about 30 feet tall, and it is closed, but there is a group of dwarves that you notice that are sort of stationed outside and within the towers of this gate. It's a walled city.
Two things.
Yes.
One, which is before we get, like, I think as soon as even like the hint of like the walls are in sight, I think we have to maybe like just go off the road for a second and split the party up.
Mhm.
And two, I was so curious as to what an inverted pyramid would be, if not an upside down pyramid, and they are in fact the same thing.
Okay, cool. Because I've been saying inverted, but it just like clicked. I'm like, maybe that's not right,
You said that, and I was like, wait, what would that be? That sounds so cool.
Yeah,
and
like some weird 4-dimensional shape or some
well,
shit.
and what happens if if a pyramid just fully, and I guess it's upside down. So cool.
Yeah, okay.
I suppose Lyria and Taurus, you guys will go on ahead first, draw the crowds.
Draw the crowds.
Yeah.
You want us to make a show?
Well, I think your presence will be a show enough.
Very well.
Perhaps we'll definitely ask to see those who are in charge of the city, and I think that if you could do the opposite and just kind of like the grease in the desert, slide on in.
Shall I take both of the raptors? Because if you guys have one and we have the other, it might connect us. People might think we have a connection.
That's a good idea. Let us take the raptors. And that way, if the city provides lodging, they'll provide for the raptors as well. And
Ooh.
it'll make sense that we came across the desert sands with the desert beings.
You're so smart.
Uh,
Okay, you take good care of Sandy and Sunny.
like, smile at them. How do they feel around bigger Uranos now?
Intimidation.
Oh yeah, they're like they don't make eye contact with Uranos when he's big.
Like, Uranos, you watch them and make sure they're behaving, all right? And Uranos is just like, They're like,
He's still
what
lying.
is going on with you? You still do everything I say, but you've been so contrary.
It's probably his
Poor guy.
rebellious face. You know, teenagers.
Just like petting him, like it's gonna be okay. We'll
We'll get
tell
through
all the
this.
rest soon.
Well, good luck, you two.
Thank you. Eslin, don't kill Misha.
Can't make any promises.
Dear God.
What's life without surprises?
That was a laugh.
Take care of yourself, Misha.
You too, Taurus.
I just hug Misha, and then give Neslin props.
I think we should also perhaps agree on a rendezvous time.
Yes, if there's a main fountain at the center, perhaps we can once a day at noon just cross paths there, sit by the fountain for a bit so that we know that everything's all right. And each evening, sorry, quick out of character question. Is time the same in this world as in our world? Is
Yeah.
it 24-hour days?
Yeah.
Perhaps, by the 10th hour, we can use the per tone to commence a conversation.
Gotcha. All right. Now I wish you good luck once again.
Good thinking, Misha.
Yay. I had a thought.
All right.
So
Take
you
the
guys separate
rafters.
each other. Yeah, separate from one another. And Taurus and Lyria, you guys make your way towards the gate. As you approach, again, you notice that there are several dwarves stationed within the towers, watching over the gate.
All right. The gate's closed.
They are closed.
So I guess we get to the gate. I gotta look at Taurus, look up at the dwarves. Are they doing anything?
Yeah, they watch you guys approach the gate, and when you get really close to them, one of them sort of leans over and goes, "State your business."
Hello, my name is Irea, and this is, and I turn to you, Taurus, and I let you speak for yourself.
I am Taurus Jasir.
And I'm Lyria Zen, and we've come as diplomats from Dewhurst. Not sure if you've heard what's going on, but we are extending our trade across the desert for the first time in, millennia.
Oh, wait, hold on there just a moment. Oi, you said they're from Dewhurst. Name's Lyria and Taurus. Lyria. Oh yeah, she's part of the resistance. You're part of the resistance?
Dewhurst has accepted the Resistance's aid because the Warforged attacked Dewhurst, and I myself have been in contact with AR.
And then he kind of looks back, and someone kind of you see an arm poke out and puts a paper in front of him, and he kind of looks at it, takes out these little spectacles and puts them on. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's proof enough. All right, you two, just give us a moment. Open the gates!" They begin to open up, and the light of the city is revealed to you as the gates open up. And there are a few dwarves, full armed, standing there and waiting for you in the archway of the open gates.
Oh, quite a welcome, Taurus. Let's be on our guard.
Of course. Keep by my side.
Nod. And come forward, I guess each with a raptor, to meet these fully suited up guards. I think Lyria's a little apprehensive.
Yeah, you
Actually,
recognize that they are wearing Hearthforge. They are soldiers of Hearthforge.
Okay, so no insight needed. These are Okay. Actually, can I see if they have are they hostile at all?
No, they seem like they're standing sort of in a rather militaristic position, but they have opened the gates to you and they are waiting for you to approach. They're clearly like standing in your path. They're not just letting you like walk into the city. They're sort of waiting for you.
Yep. So greet them. I think if I can discern who's the kind of one that's leading, then I'll give a bow.
He steps forward, holds out his hand, kind of grabs yours in like a second if you don't immediately put it out for him. Kind of just reaches for it.
A little slow, so he grabs it and
yanks you.
Yeah, yanks me forward. But I will say in Dwarvish, it is good to meet you.
I'm Raldwin Stoneedge. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And then he said that they were Hearth soldiers stationed here in Windrow.
Yes. Aye, we've been stationed here, protecting the city. He doesn't look too happy about it.
Mm-hmm. How is Hearth faring after the tumultuous events of the last few months?
It's been busy, but we've been hanging on. Not too many attacks, actually. But mind you, it's more the people that we're dealing with. They don't give us a damn break. We're here for them, for crying out loud. Anyways. Oh yeah, you want us to take care of these lizards for you?
If that would be amenable, I would love to meet with some of the guilds in the city, if not the council, to discuss trade. But I do have time to treat you to an ale, perhaps, before we go, if that's something that you'd have in mind for.
Well, as much as I'd love that, I'm on duty at the moment. But
I hate to interject. I am a trained soldier for many hundreds of years. I'm sure I could take your station. Perhaps give a hand to someone who's giving a hand.
Well, I'm going to be a bit dutiful here. I'm going to refuse politely. But if you want, you can take the wee lad here. And he pats the soldier next to him on the back and he goes, go and get me an ale, eh? Bring it to me. And the smaller, younger dwarf goes, I'm a Dorful Great Cleave. Dorful Great Cleave. I will accompany you as an escort, I suppose. It's like, no, you're just getting a drink. Just relax, eh? At least appreciate it.
Well, Raldwin, perhaps we'll see you later then.
Aye, we'll take these two off your hands. Come on here, let's get them in the... Well, maybe don't put them next to the horses. Get them in the back. And they grab them and put some leads on them. And they are a little reluctant to go with them.
Yes. I think as part of that, I think Lyria has to turn around and Urnos is probably following behind them, like herding them forward. And then she'll shrink Urnos and he'll go on her shoulder, kind of like hang out as they usually do, kind of like clutching her armor. Well, actually, let me know if this is okay. I've always pictured Lyria's armor to have like a leather type hood, kind of like roguey, kind of like esque. So I've always pictured Urnos kind of like going in that hood when she's not using it. So he has like a back pouch.
She needs a baby Bjorn.
Yeah, kind of his baby Bjorn. Let me know if that's okay.
Perfectly fine.
So essentially do that and then take out some jerky and like feed it to him and then like give it to the raptors. And then like give the other half of those pieces like to the dwarf that's going to lead them.
Grabs it and goes, starts biting on it, just gives it a quick sniff. Yeah, and I think after that, especially having been sort of pushed along by Uranos when he was larger, the raptors go along a little more agreeable. And at this point, Randuin, he he goes, there's an inn not far from here. Dorful's going to take you over there. And then I'll have one of the guild lords meet you there. They actually told us to let us know, let them know when the resistance arrived.
Absolutely. And we'll send Dorful back in a timely fashion.
You
This
heard
does
that?
remind
You
me.
better come back.
There was a time, there was an officer, a guard, his name was Indigo Sherlock, and he resubscribed on twitch.tv. I forgot to thank him in that day.
Sounds
So-
like a
forward.
splendid lad.
We're at the inn. To Indigo.
Indigo Sherlock.
Indigo Shrug!
Indigo Sherlock.
Oi!
The barkeep comes around and gives you guys drinks. Ale, was it? Putting down ale in front of Dorful. Oh, can I have another one actually for Commander Randuin? He goes, oh, of course, I'll give it for the entire team. Puts a bunch of mugs down in front of him.
Able to carry all those yourself.
Oh, I'll be fine.
You may be a green guard, but not green to drinking. Yeah.
Well, I
I
love
think
my
I
drink.
sip the ale with Taurus. Like kind of like look at Taurus. It's like, good cup, bad cup. Then look at Dorful. So Dorful, you've been doing duty as a guard, coming up in the ranks,
Aye, yeah.
and
Yeah.
what do you think of the situation here in Hearth? Are we safe in your care?
Oh, I think so. It's a pretty peaceful town, you know. The workers are just a little upset, is all.
Are they?
I
Wow.
slam my hand on the bar.
Is everything all right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Perhaps he's upset at how upset the workers are.
Aye,
Yes.
they're quite upset. Upset at us, actually. They don't like us being here.
No. Have you done something, Dorful, to earn this ire?
No, we just came here to defend the city. Oh, you know what? Actually, it might be that they're not allowed to leave. That might be it.
Oh. Are we allowed to leave?
Oh, I think you're resistance members. I think you can do whatever you like.
How could you
Oh.
keep these people behind the walls like this?
Oh, it was orders by the king.
Yes, but
Keep the
against
people
their will?
safe. Well, yeah, sure, but we're in war. Well, that's what Randuin says anyways.
Gonna have to have a word with this Randuin.
We will. Later when we have a drink with him.
So what's it like being in the resistance?
Oh. I think I've
Must be
seen my
exciting.
yeah, I've seen my life flash before my eyes perhaps too many times, Dorful.
Oh, I don't know what that's like. Is it exciting?
It feels like. Do you remember the first time you held a blade?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And do you remember feeling how sharp it was when you put your thumb against the edge?
Well, the first time, it was heavy more than anything.
But you recognized that what
I
you...
prefer hammers, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
your first hammer, you recognized that it could kill someone.
Oh, yeah. It's great for bashing in skulls.
And you've bashed in a skull?
On a few occasions, yeah. Couple imps that pass through the veins of fire from time to time. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what they would think of as their skull caved in? And the last thing their eyes saw was the world in two separate directions as they splooshed out into the floor.
No, I never thought of it that way.
You should think about it, Dorful.
Okay.
Drink my ale.
He drinks two. Finishes it off. Starts drinking another one.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
I'm
for
gonna
your
need
team.
another one. Oh, don't tell Randuin, eh? Don't
No.
tell him.
I believe that we'll wait for the guild master now, Dorful. And if you drink more than one more, I shall have to tell Rantwin when I see him again.
Oh, don't do that. I'll have all
give
these
him a-
mugs in front of me. Expect me to hold myself back here?
Give him a wink and say, they're for your team at the wall. You've been doing hard work, and after hearing about how hard you've had it, they deserve it, don't they?
Yeah, you make a good point. Okay, I better take these right away then, because otherwise I'm just not going to be able to help myself.
It seems so.
Okay, well, it was nice meeting you. You know, I thought there'd be more of you, but, you know, maybe 2 is enough. Eh? Grabs the mugs and goes, bye.
Wave. I look at Taurus. I'm like, I don't know about this good cop, bad cop stuff.
I thought it went pretty well. Did you see the scowl I held on him?
Like, look at your face for the first time. Oh,
At this point, the Asdorful leaves. There's a brief pause where the two of you are together. It's rather quiet. You're the only customers in the establishment at the moment.
yeah, that's strange. The innkeep is like behind the bars, I guess, cleaning.
Yeah, it's a dwarven lady with a kind of messy, like bushy red fro. She's got some freckles and she's wiping down a counter, but mostly just reorganizing her stock and things like that.
Looks
How many
bored.
exits are in here? How many windows?
Yeah.
There are 6 windows. There are 8 round tables and 12 spots at the bar. There's a back room, maybe a kitchen of sorts. But this is just a tavern. It's not an inn.
Okay. Did Dorfel pay for the booze, or did he just grab the?
he
booze?
just took it.
Yeah. So I think Lyria just slides an appropriate amount of coins if you let me know what that is.
Well, I'm not sure what you have on you. We'll say that like a nail is like a silver piece or something here. But you know that a gold would probably cover it all. Just easy like that. But if you go to put something on the counter, she turns to you and goes, "Oh, no. The soldiers get to drink for free."
Then I slide her 6 silver pieces and say, "Well, this is for us then."
Oh, you're far too kind. Thank you.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can get for you?
Not for the moment. Just waiting on a guild master.
All right. Oh, you might be waiting a while. They're quite busy today
Busy with what?
with the rallies.
Rallies by the people?
By the docks, by the Dark Market Square. Yeah, that's where all the workers are. None of my employees are here today.
I see.
What are they rallying for?
I think they just want to get their voices heard. I don't know why everyone's so upset, though. We just have some protection by the king. You know, I'm not against it. I don't mind sitting around for a little while if it means that we'll all be safe.
Very well.
Sorry,
In Elvish, I guess.
hold on. I muted you. I muted the stream by accident for a second while you were talking. What did you just say? I was hoping I would have to say something, but then everyone.
The workers are rallying at the docks. They just want their voices to be heard, but she doesn't get it because they have protection, so that's fine. But in Elvish, I'll say it sounds like that's where Misha and Neslin will be headed. It sounds like it may be heated. We may not want to wait here too long for the guild's masters.
I think I sip my ale. I look at the innkeep and, were we speaking in common or dwarvish?
Dwarvish.
common.
Or, nah,
Yeah, so I
sorry.
nod, say thank you in common, and then I turn back to Taurus, kind of like, and then in Elvish, kind of like giving her the impression, I think, that like we're having our own conversation.
Yeah, she turns away and goes back to her business.
And I think in Elvish, I'll say, that could be a good idea, Taurus. I am of the mind that we should play the part of the good guests, since that is the role that we've given ourselves. But good guests are allowed to stroll around town, perhaps to some noise that they may have heard.
Yes. I think I heard such noise just now.
Indeed. And I turn back to the innkeep and say, if the guildmaster comes for us, just let them know that we're taking a walk in town, and that we'll be sticking to the main streets, that will be easily distinguishable.
Oh, of course.
Thank you so
Pardon
much.
me. What are your names so I can, relay the message? If you
I'm
don't mind.
Irea, and this is my brother, Taurus.
Well, good day to the two of you, and thank you for stopping by. Very generous of you both. I'll let them know when they come by. And I think right as she says that, the doors to the establishment kind of burst open, and there's a lanky gentleman standing there with his arms out as the doors kind of bounce off, and he quickly kind of rushes in before they smack him in the face. And he goes, "Resistance! Welcome to Windrow!" And he steps forward, and a familiar face of the drow Dorwill enters the establishment. He has a kind of slick back, silver hair, dark black skin, and he's wearing this fine sort of like pointed suit with pointed shoulders and accents of purple on it. Very, very well dressed. And he steps in, the heels of his shoes kind of click against the hardwood floors of the building. And he goes, "My, it's been a while, hasn't it? You still remember me, don't you?"
Yes, Dorwill. It's been a
Tonus, how's it going? And Lyria, of course.
Of course. Out of character, who is this?
He was the merchant that had showed up in Dewhurst 2 months ago.
Right. The very unhelpful merchant.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I remember. Wasting time with it.
Dorwill,
Yeah.
you're part of the guilds here.
Yeah, he kind of cuts you off. He goes, "Why are you guys waiting here of all places? They should have brought you to my manor." Well, pardon their manners, right? And he comes down and he sits at the table or at the bar where you guys are standing.
They all have
We have a
manners.
lot to catch up on, don't we? What was that, Totus?
No, nothing.
Right. So how was your journey? It must have been perilous.
It was eventful. There was a lot of grease at one point. Tell you all about it.
Oh.
Would you like to stroll while we talk?
No, but I have my carriage parked outside.
Well, then let us away.
Oh, come on, let's go. Now, how is Dewhurst doing? Well, when I arrived there, it was a complete mess.
I think there's a deep and painful sigh that escapes Lyria, but maybe that he won't notice, but that Taurus for sure would notice. And I think as you don't say too much, Lyria will maybe take this conversation and start just explaining the efforts in Dewhurst, of the last 2 months of like politics and mercantile stuff and those sorts of things that I think she was up to. Probably the stuff that she didn't bore you the details with. She's going into painstaking detail with this guy.
Wow, terrible, terrible stuff. I am terribly sorry for all of the hardship you've had to go through. Now, come on, everyone, get on board.
Well, I want to keep this going, like even as we're in the cart. Like I want to.
Yeah, but so as you get to the cart, though, he lets you in. It's a beautifully lavish cart on 4 wheels. The main carriage portion of it has beautiful silk drapes on the inside, and when he opens the door, there's a little like step ladder that goes like and like props down onto the floor for you to walk in. He tries to like hold your hand gently while you like walk in, you know, to like help you if you accept it. But he doesn't come in the back with you guys. He actually goes and jumps up onto the front of the carriage, which it's not being pulled by any horses, and there's not a stagecoach. He's grabs onto these reins that are just sort of hooked onto the front of the carriage. And he goes, "It's not a long way to my manor, but maybe we can take the scenic route all the way down Lord and Lady Boulevard."
Sure. You know best, Dorval.
I do know best. And he snaps it, and the carriage kind of comes to life and begins to roll along the road forward all by itself.
I was caught by surprise by not having to have that boring conversation and like look over to us. And he's driving his own carriage. I don't think he's that successful.
My God.
An obvious royal thing to say.
He might be a horse guy, you know.
God
He listens to
damn!
horses.
He said he had to help you into the carriage himself. He didn't have anyone else here to do it for him.
Yeah,
Very
it seems
odd.
like that.
I'd like to take a look around the carriage.
Okay.
I don't trust
Go
this.
ahead and make a perception or investigation.
I'll do perception with disadvantage.
Thank you, Indigo Sherlock, for
Thank
2
you.
months.
Again?
2 months
My
of torture. 14.
14. Are you? Which one are you using?
Perception.
Perception. You look around the carriage. Everything has like beautiful, intricate, ornate details. Everything's been hand carved and handmade. All the small metallic and kind of intricate details along the sides of the windows and of the doors to the carriage. The seats are nice and plump and cushiony. It's a beautiful carriage, but you don't notice anything suspicious.
Well, it is a peasant's cart, but it does not seem to be triggered with any sort of.
Wait. Oh, well, I mean, it's too late, I guess. Because you're supposed to roll with Bane.
I did.
Oh, you did roll with Bane.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Top of the game.
Yes. Does not seem to be fitted with anything nefarious.
That's good. Not sure how far we can trust Dorval, but he knew we were coming, so he must be on the guild council, and I'm sure that he'll be of some use.
He has yet to be of use to us, but perhaps he can make that right.
And suddenly there's like a sliding window that sort of like the wall of the cart that's facing like the door where Dorwill is sitting outside at the front of the carriage kind of slides open, and he goes, "Hey, got room for me?" That's a rhetorical question. I know there is. And he crawls in and sits down. And he goes, oh, that is so much more comfortable. Rolls his shoulders and he goes, I have to say, these workers being on strike, it is just a pain in my rear.
Ah,
Yes, of course. Usually this is staffed, yes.
Of course. Have someone to open the door for you, someone to push the carriage along for me. Now I got to do it all myself. Good thing the thing runs on its own, eh? No horses needed.
no steering needed either?
It'll be fine. He looks out. Yeah, we're still going in the right direction.
Wow. That's some great magic there you have.
I can fly too.
Incredible.
So, you both eager to see my manor? I'll give you the grand tour.
Show us around. We're here to establish trade with Dewhurst, and speak with the city about open trade negotiations between Dewhurst, the rebellion, and strengthening the front line against Xanabin.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, yes, and yes to all of those, but things are a little bit hectic here. You came at a bit of a bad time.
Well, I think I'd love to hear you in particular talk all about it.
Well, I do love talking. The first thing you should know is that I'm Guild Lord.
Sorry. I've dropped pieces. Oh goodness.
You're right there.
I'm like touching the floor. I'm trying to cast Zone of Truth on like a point in the carriage
Oh my gosh. Okay.
and see if it works. If it'll like move along with the carriage.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't find it. And I'm like drawing like sigils like in the ground.
All right. Hey, careful with the rug. Yeah. Anyways, I am Guild Lord Dorwill Windrow, last of my name. Guild Lord of the Solid Arts Guild.
All right.
Well, you have any questions?
I think I'm quite amazed.
Amazed? Well, you should be.
The city is named for your line.
It is. It is. Though I hold no extra push or pull over the city. Windrow has always been known as the Wings of Opportunity. And when they came here, however many goddamn years ago, they made it a place where anyone could make it. I'm just doing my best to uphold the name. And I've done pretty well for myself.
Yeah. Except for this strike.
Yeah, except for the strike. That would be the king's fault, if you ask me.
Really? So tell us, what is causing these workers to get up and leave their jobs, to leave you high and dry?
Well, they're all coming together in defiance of these laws. They've locked everyone here in. I don't agree with it, mind you. I don't agree with it. The strikes, I mean. I don't agree with the strikes. I agree with the king. Hey, well, who doesn't want to be protected?
Yes, why don't they want to be protected if it is that dangerous?
Because the Wings of Opportunity, everyone here they all want to be in charge of themselves. Bunch of animals.
And so they're not allowed to leave. What other laws are there coming in from Hearth?
Can't do any business. No trade, which is the entire point of our city. Well, all the guild members are very displeased.
And so what is
we're
happening?
just about to arrive. Let's take it inside and we'll continue from there. And as the cart, he kind of reaches through and snaps the reins and they slow down and you appear before his beautiful grand manor with a lavishly scaped front yard with gorgeous bushes and shrubs that are all cut to specific animal shapes. And there's a long walkway of beautifully paved stones that lead up to the front entrance with a pretty much like a pond in the front yard. The house itself is a mix of elvish and in particular Dewhurst design of sort of like sandstone and these kind of hardy woods from Hearth. And he leads you down into it. The carriage kind of just stays out front. He just leaves it there and walks you guys in. But as you guys are making your way there, we are going to quickly move to the outside of the city to Neslin and Misha. Sorry for keeping you guys hanging there for a little while. But now that some time has passed and the others have gone into the city, how do you guys approach?
Well, I looked at Neslin. I wonder if we should wait to see how long we should wait to go inside so we don't seem so suspicious.
Quick question: Are like just like outside? Are we like where exactly are we? Are we at the entrance like of the city basically?
Yeah,
Kinda
so there's like
waiting.
the gate of the city,
Like-
and you guys have sort of just gone off the main road maybe to like chill by, some
So-
cliffs or some trees or something, a bit
Yeah.
of forest, or just being a little inconspicuous before going in.
I think it would be wise for us to see how often people enter the city so as not to raise suspicion. If we go in right away after the siblings, then people might think that we're onto something.
You think we should go around and talk to some locals in the meantime? Maybe we could get some insider information.
Are there anyone hanging around outside? Do we see anyone? No.
There's no one outside the gates.
Okay. Well, I guess.
Can it be sneak in actually? Can we just yoink right in?
I mean, you could. There's 30 foot high walls
Do
around
you
the
want to
city.
try?
I'm just checking my spells real quick. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I have something.
Well, we we could definitely just fly in technically, but then they will see you like as like a bird or something.
Yeah.
That's the easiest thing.
Unless we dig underground somehow.
This went from feeling like it was a great idea to the to feeling
He left the two
Oh, no.
dingus behind.
let's just walk in. I'll use my charm, and I gently I start walking slowly.
Okay, right behind you.
Yeah, so I walk towards the dwarves, I guess.
I follow suit.
Dwarf sort of like got his arm resting out there, and as you guys approach, it perks up and looks out the window and goes, "Oi, state your business."
Hi.
Hello.
We have oh geez, Neslin, what do we do?
Name's Neslin Humblebelly, and I'm looking for my brother. He lives in the city, a couple streets down, and we're celebrating his birthday.
You hear someone like inside the tower go, "Neslin Humblebelly," and you see an arm poke out with a paper, and the guy looks at it. And he goes, "Oh, Neslin Humblebelly, you're part of the resistance, aren't you?"
No, that's my
And
brother. He
and he
lives
looks, he
here.
flips through another paper and goes, "White Dragonborn, you're Misha."
Yes. Hi.
No,
Hello.
I said I'm
Yeah, two of your
Beslin
companions just came
Bumblebelly.
in. Lyria and Taurus, they just came in. You with them?
I don't know who you're talking about. There's
Hold on.
quite
I
a
think
few
it's time for
members of
some
the
magic. Hold on,
Resistance.
guys.
Yeah, he gets like smacked on the shoulder, and the other dwarf goes like, "Well, of course they don't know each other. The resistance is huge." And he goes, "Oh yeah, good point, good point. All right, well we'll open the gates. Open the gates."
And we're ever expanding. If you wish to join us.
And the gate opens up, and there is a line of dwarves there. They have all got their weapons and their armor, and in one hand they all have an ale.
I just lean down, and whisper to Neslin. I think our plan worked. They fell for it.
Yeah. Wait, are they all looking at us? All the dwarves, like they're waiting on us, or is it just like they're just there?
Yeah, they're waiting for you. They opened the gates, and now they're waiting for you to approach.
Oh, okay.
I suppose we walk in.
Yeah, I guess we have no choice, right? Yeah.
Wave hi to them. Hello.
I give him a
Hello?
salute.
Misha, Neslin,
Nice arbor.
thank you. My name's Randwin.
Nice to meet you, Rendwin.
Raldwin, sorry.
Sorry, my
Forgot my own name. It's strong stuff. Drinks
I
more
have
of
a
it.
hard time with dwarvish names. You know, it's I don't have the accent and
They all
everything.
sound the same, truthfully. So, your friends, we brought them over to the inn, not far from here. Want us to bring you to them?
Actually, we're on slightly separate business than them. If there's perhaps a different inn, something more towards the center of the town.
Oh, the further in you go, the more closed everything becomes. They're having a rally down by the docks.
A rally, you say?
Aye,
What kind of
big
rally?
fancy moment for them, eh?
Yeah. What kind of rally?
Yeah, they're making a bunch of noise. It's about it. Really, they're just making noise, trying to get people's attention.
Well, I mean, it sounds exciting. I think that's a pretty good place to be, right, Neslin? And like winking at him, you know, and Misha's thinking that's where it seems a lot of commotion is happening. Perhaps that's where we need to investigate.
I just want a beer, a good old pint of ale. And I try to I'm trying to role play like I'm not interested in the like because I don't want to be too into the crowd, right? So I'm trying to it's like the good and bad cop, but it's just like for I'm against her a bit. And so yeah, I kind of just sturdy off. If he lets me, I kind of wander off on my own. If I like start slowly walking towards that area.
Oh, hey, hold on there. Hold on there.
Neslin, you gotta wait a moment.
Come here.
Oh,
Come here.
yeah.
Stop walking. Yeah. All right.
I walk
The two of
1
you-
meter because I'm no.
The two of you should be careful, they're having a rally because of us, but not just because of us, because of you as well. The king's affiliated with the resistance, so people might not be very kind. So just lay low, You got any hoods? Got any cloaks? We can lend you some. Might be a bit small, at least for you. He looks up at you, Misha.
Well, I do have a few tricks of my own, if that might help. And as she says that, I would like to cast Alter Self. So I get to assume a different form. I can make myself look like another race, even though I keep my same height. So now that I think about
Keep the
that,
same height.
are there any
giant dwarf?
giant? Are there any also relatively big races? I'm not
You could
familiar.
be like a
I think high
half
elves are
orc or
really tall.
Goliath. No, elves are pretty average.
Pretty average. Are orcs or the other race you mentioned, are they either one of them have any bad reputations or
Definitely.
No.
Humans always good. Humans do everything.
Yeah, you could be a big human.
7 feet?
Yeah, it could be a tall human.
It's normal.
Just a big
All right.
big gal.
Yeah, I'll do it. Make
Alright.
myself into a big gal.
Yeah, I got it covered. And I take these freaking cracked.
Giant woman.
I take cracked glasses and I put my little glasses on, freaking Superman. They'll never be able to tell.
It's like silly glasses with a nose and mustache too.
Yeah, just some crusty glasses don't have frames on.
No.
That's what it is.
They got those googly eyeballs that spring out boing.
And yeah.
But no, one of the soldiers kind of drops his mug and is kind of slack jawed a little bit, and then he immediately reaches to his side and pulls out two hammers and in a defensive stance at you transforming, and Ralduin kind of puts his arm back and goes, "Hey, relax, Dorfel. It's just magic. She could be a shape changer. How do we know that she's actually part of the resistance? You've been reading too many novels, yeah." Smacks him over the head. And he goes, just ignore him, all right? That's a perfect disguise, actually.
Fantastic.
And you, well, you're small enough,
Seems like everyone's on edge here.
A little bit,
Hmm.
yeah.
Do you happen to know why everyone seems so upset at the resistance? Why they're so hostile?
Windrow has always been hard-headed when it comes to the decisions of Hearth.
Hmm.
I've been sort of locked into a pact with Hearthforge ever since the city was first established. Some old law.
It seems like perhaps Windrow is trying to seek sovereignty.
Perhaps.
Gotcha. Well, we'll definitely be on guard, and we've not to toot our own horn, but we've been through quite our share of battles, so you can rest assured that we will look after ourselves and we will be careful. We will heed your warnings.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I might be a bit worried, but I do know that you're the two of you especially. You've done a lot for us, for my home, Hearthforge. I heard what you did, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. Perhaps next time you come to Hearthforge, you can speak with the king. Hardly ever comes out and does any speeches anymore. It's really demoralizing.
Poor guy. I wonder if it's because of his appearance.
I don't know why. He's a tank of a man, of an Azer. I'd be proud to show that off, eh?
Azer, you say? Yeah, you're right. Maybe he's just a bit maybe he has a bad flare-up of pimples or something. You know, when you get those bad
Pimples?
tears and
What the heck's a pimple?
you know, it's stress. He's a king. Lots of stress pimples.
No, dwarves and Azers don't get any pimples.
Oh.
Got thick skin.
Yeah, look at this.
Anyways, I won't hold you out any longer.
All the shine.
Dark Market Square, all the way down. Just follow the main road.
Gotcha. Thank you a lot, and take care of yourselves.
I will. Be careful and
I just
try not
mumble.
to cause any
Yeah.
commotion, Try not to cause any problems.
Oh no, us causing problems? Nah.
All right. And Dwarfel, put your hammers away, man. Okay, fine. Still don't trust her.
Well, I'm glad you're ready to protect your people. Very admirable of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm here to do.
I guess we shall make our way towards the was it the center or the docks that we were going to?
Follow the main
To the
road
north.
down
Main
to
road.
the docks, which is where you will find the Dark Market Square.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I want to turn the alley once per far away and like away from everyone, and I'll
Mhm.
just cast Disguise Self as and turn into like a halfling. Halfling, right? Yeah.
All right.
Dang. I didn't know Neslin
Nice.
had that.
So what are your
So yeah,
human and
I have a little.
halfling forms
Actually,
look like?
look.
Our human Hadley force? I'd imagine that Misha is as cause she kind of still like looks like herself in a way. Like she still has like a big schnoz. She's got kind of like a small squarish face. So as much as that can translate into human. So she's obviously still tall. She's still weighty. And you know what? I haven't even thought about her hair and such. I suppose white hair to go with
Ooh.
her white dragonborn ancestry,
All right.
and a lot of white hair since she's from the tundras.
Yeah, just like huge mane of hair.
Yeah, but she'll for convenience sake, she'll probably maybe she'll end up braiding it when she gets some time at the end. But for now, it's gonna be in a ponytail.
Yeah, I just look like the same clothes. Well, a bit more. It basically look like a commoner, basically, just a different face and stuff, and my hair, different hair. Just like a very simple, like nothing too like over the top.
You have more hair in your disguise than your actual self.
But there's no hair physics. Like, well, I guess, and the hair like stays like perfectly like in place.
Oh god, massive hairspray.
You get a little,
Like the wind blows
got
and the
to
hair
be
just
glued.
yeah, it just holds.
It's from all the grease.
Caked in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, natural.
Beautiful.
All right, let's get going. Let's go see all those ralliers.
Yeah.
So we had to. Do we know we won't get lost, right? Or should we roll for something?
Oh,
He
yeah.
told you to just follow the main road.
I want to ask if shoot, maybe we should have established this a bit earlier, but if we perhaps got maps of the city, and if we had time to study them.
You do not have a map of the city.
I can smell them. It smells like action.
Gotcha.
Well, he actually doesn't smell. He just
Oh. I thought it'd be...
But Misha doesn't know that though. She just trusts him,
Yeah. The main road is extra wide. You can tell that it's to accommodate heavy traffic and carts and wagons and things like that. The paving, the stonework of the road is immaculate, perfect condition, and pretty much the entire city is like spotless, beautifully kept. But that starts to change the closer to the center that you get. You start to notice papers and flyers and things stapled and nailed to various buildings and posts, and it becomes more and more abundant the closer you get to the dark market square, which is a shame because every single alleyway, every street corner is like a work of art. It's beautiful architecture, and art, craftsmanship, and you can tell that this place is probably has a few guilds meant for keeping the upkeep of the city, and they've been busy. Maybe not so much recently, and it's a little bit jarring because there's hardly anybody in the street when you're walking. Only as you start to get closer to the square do you start to notice people, and you actually see some people leaving their houses and coming down the main road, all of them heading towards the square. But before you arrive at the square, I think I am going to jump back to the siblings. Quick, as they enter Dorwill's manor. And when you enter the foyer, it's kind of an expanse of very little. There's kind of pedestals here and there of old ancient relics, things on display throughout his house as if it was some sort of exhibit. Paintings decorate his walls. Some of them take up entire 30-foot spans of wall. Lavish, very intricately designed rugs placed sort of randomly. It's kind of like a new Art Nouveau, Art Deco type situation going on, but mixed with all these strange magical artifacts or things from the Black Desert, and even some of them resembling the stuff that you have in the treasury in Dewhurst, Lyria. So yeah, he's taking you through it, and he goes, "That one was passed down to me by my great grandpappy, and that one over there I procured myself. Went delving for it, actually."
Wow, such a collection. Is that what brought you all the way to Dewhurst? Was to acquire more?
Indeed, it is a never-ending endeavor. I want it all.
I can see that. Well, are we meeting any of the other guild masters here?
Oh, I'm afraid it's just going to be me. The others are a little bit busy. Some of them are hosting the rally down by the dark market.
So the guilds are in on the rally?
Yes. Yes,
But
a few
not
of them are.
Your guild? Ah.
Not mine. You see, the Solid Arts Guild we do things a little differently than the others. We're collectors. We don't mind sitting around for a little while.
I see. So this has created this sort of schism between the guilds.
Schism. Exactly. The perfect word.
Seems to be some sort of guild wars, Taurus.
I make no point to like not let him hear me. I think we may have allied ourselves too quickly with the wrong side.
Well, I don't think
Wrong
there's
side. The wrong side?
any harm in being
I'm on your side.
Well,
What side is that?
The resistance.
Well, we are here for resistance purposes, and it is not to look down upon the people of the city, is to bring them up and bring them on our side.
Now you're going to have a bit of trouble with that.
Then why do you think they sent the Queen of Dewhurst?
She is queen, and he looks over to you, Lyria, and goes, and no disrespect, but the people of Windrow won't really care.
none taken, especially seeing as
Sorry.
how I'm not in that position currently.
What?
I'm a diplomat for Dewhurst in this mission.
Of course, but you're still queen.
Of course she is.
Okay, you had me scared there. You were talking about trade routes and stuff. I would love to set that all up with you. Imagine if we could join back the houses of Dewhurst and Windrow after all these years.
Yes, technically. I think she's still stuck on the queen question.
All in due time.
Well-
Will.
We'll say you're queen. But honestly, the people here, most people don't see people from Dewhurst. Well, there's a few stragglers here and there that travel through the desert to make new lives, and Windrow accepts them openly. But we've never had any fealty to Dewhurst. Again, no disrespect.
I don't think this is about fealty. Or perhaps it is. Perhaps the Harthian government, the Harthian monarchy, is imposing on the people and they wish to be heard. Is there no compromise that can be made to make it so that they are happy and that perhaps they don't end up despising the resistance and the war effort in general?
Well, you know how it goes. Once they start spinning the words around, those people will believe whatever the heck they want. And right now, the king and the resistance, who are allied together, aren't putting a very good impression on the rest of Windrow. Oh, I've seen firsthand the terrible tragedy of this war. I was reduced with. Windrow hasn't been attacked. Hearth was, and the people had to flee, but now things are better, and people have returned to their home within the mountains. But I think Congreth has taken action. He doesn't want other people to meet a similar fate. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to convince these people.
Who represents Hearth here?
What do you mean? We are part of Hearth. That's part of the problem. And not for me, for the other guilds.
But who has the ear of the king here?
Well, the guild lords. But we have to come to unanimous decisions for things to pass. And that's where the problem lies. We are divided at the moment.
Yeah, Lyria fully stops walking wherever the hell we're going.
It's taking you to like a back courtyard, and there's like a bunch of like statues and like intricate positions of a bunch of different races and stuff. And you kind of looking at them, and you can't tell if they're just like the most perfect stonework or if they've like petrified people. That's how realistic they look.
Jesus.
It's like someone in fear.
Yeah, like
Oh my
yeah, they have
God.
like crazy expressions. There's one who's like pogging, you know.
Pog.
Sir Poggers.
One is a Pikachu face.
It's just like offhand studying the inside of someone's mouth, and I'm like, that's a petrified person.
That's quite
He's like,
you
you're damn
feel.
right they are. I found them in a Gorgon's lair.
Yes, the delves. We need to go see the guild lords now, and we need to hear of these differing opinions. This is of the utmost importance to the resistance, but it is also of the utmost importance that we reopen trade with Dewhurst. Dewhurst is in sore need of the lifeline that is the trade of the city, and I will do everything in my power. And I think I like take his hand and like hold it to reestablish that trade
He like
and have you as
clasps.
our partner here. And I believe that that is everything you want to hear.
Oh, you know me too well, Lyria. Or should I say queen?
Yes. And then
Uh.
I think while I have his hand, I like grab one of his fingers and bend it to the breaking point. And I say, so let's go now.
Okay, all right.
While you
I put a
have
hand
me,
on his shoulder. Right
while
there.
you have me wrapped around
oh.
your finger, Mr.
You know,
Windrow.
at some point we could have been relatives, you know, but maybe somewhere along the bloodline. You don't have to do it like that. Can you roll me an intimidation with advantage?
Who's the bad cop again?
It was always Lyria. That's a 19. Oh, you said advantage, though.
19's pretty good.
What the hell? That's another 19.
Damn.
3 14s in a row, 2 17s in a row. Something's weird.
I'm just getting so many high rolls. It's so weird.
Wow, it's so crazy.
Oh my God.
Hi, Barbie.
I can't.
He goes, okay. Don't break my finger, and whatever you're gonna do, don't do it. And he like looks at you, Taurus. He goes, look, you're right. That's exactly what I want. But you're gonna the trade routes. You gotta talk to the king about that. It's part of the law. We don't get to make those choices. We were doing business all over Wisteria. And now everything's been closed off. The guilds are furious. They don't have any more business. They can't work on the things that they love, that they're passionate about. I mean, these are artists here in Windrow. This is not just a business, you know. It's a way of life. So maybe there's a way that we can speak to the others, but the ones at the rally right now, it's going to be a bit difficult to see them right now. That's all I can say. I could bring you to the others.
Let's gather the others.
Okay,
That's
all
an
right.
incredibly brilliant idea.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can let go of me now.
Yeah, I fully let go of him as he gives forth this wonderful
Whew,
idea.
what a grip, and with such soft hands. Oh my goodness.
You flatter me.
So we should move along then.
Yes, and let's take a different route on the way out, so you can show us more of your exquisite finery.
Oh, beautiful. I've forgiven you for my nearly broken finger. And he's like,
Nearly
he has a bounce in his step as he leads you outside. You make your way to the cart. You get in it, and he starts taking you down towards the Dark Market Square. Sorry, there's a bug flying around.
Yeah, commented Taurus on the way out. He's not so bad.
I held my tongue.
And your fists.
As you guys are making your way, your companions are arriving at the Dark Market Square. Neslin and Misha, you arrive. You kind of arrive at a like a, it's not a platform, but it's like a lookout where on either side there are these large sort of like ramps. The road sort of dips down at an angle down towards the market. And the market is a huge open space with a beautiful square, or once beautiful square, with a fountain and beautifully kept sort of like gardens lining the perimeters. And there is like a huge wall of buildings and establishments, all of varying architecture and design. And each one has like a large sign at the front of it. But this entire place is just littered with papers and flyers and posters, large banners hanging from the buildings of the wall.
What do they read?
So you notice like in the streets there are some cards that have the symbol of the resistance, and there's like a big red circle with like a line crossed through it, and it's written in common, Elvish, and Dwarvish. It says like no, no, no all over it. There are flyers that say damn the king, like screw the law and things like that. And
They're
it's
so
just all the-
polite.
they're not polite at all.
That dang king.
That dang.
I mean, you speak up against the king and see what happens.
That buffoon.
Yeah, so they're all over the place. There's even one where it's like it's got a painted face. There's like a huge draping banner with Congress sort of face painted on it, and it's actually a rather beautiful painting of him.
It's
But
Azer face.
yeah, he's got like but then like there's like a bucket on his head,
Oh.
and it's like he is no king of ours, or some things like that. Just it's all
it-
manner.
The portrait of Congress, is it as a dragonborn or as a dwarf?
As an Azer, yeah, as a dwarf, yeah. He's like a metal dwarf.
I lean down to Neslin. I guess he hasn't made an appearance since he became a dragonborn. Oh. You got mic problems.
Oh,
There you go.
hello?
You got it.
He just doesn't have
You're-
any
you're-
comments.
Oh, no, I was talking. But the king turned to a dragon.
Yeah, maybe that's
you
a
say?
little. Yeah,
Too big context needed.
yeah. The king of
He
Hearth.
became a dragonborn.
He died, and Misha revived him using the reincarnation spell, and he came back as a gold dragonborn. So he was once this massive Azer
Oh wow!
who was like a metal dwarf, but like imagine if you scaled up a dwarf to like 10 by 10 feet. So he's just like this huge
Yeah.
lad. And he had been king for hundreds of years, but he was very protective of his people, and when he came back he was a little bit uncomfortable and maybe, I don't know, ashamed of who he became.
Okay.
I guess, do we see any large crowds forming?
Oh yes, the entire square is jam-packed with people
Nice.
all the way to the docks. And you notice that on the docks they've sort of piled up. You can kind of see from up here before you go down to the base of the square. You see at the docks there's a large platform that's been set up, and there are several people on it. They seem to be preparing something, and you can see out into the lake. Well, actually, make me a perception check.
Heck yeah. Both of them?
You can make it, or somebody can help the other.
Ooh.
Steam.
On nat 20.
Wow.
Non-nat 20.
Verbal advantage.
Beautiful. You look out and you notice that there are ships out in the lake, but they're not approaching the docks. You can tell that they're like clearly trying to come to the docks, but all the edges of the docks are sort of like filled with these like massive buoys that are sort of blocking the docks, not letting them approach or dock.
Is there any poster that's hasn't been graffitied on yet?
It's not that the posters are graffitied on. This is just the
Oh, they're just the posters.
That's like the
Propaganda.
message of the posters. It's all
Oh, yeah, no,
they've
I
all been
thought it was
printed
graffiti on top of, like,
in
okay.
defiance of the king and the resistance.
In other words, none of them have been graffitied on yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hint,
No, that sounds good. I basically like I was like Neslan says, I think we should find a way to win the people, so we learn and get a bit deeper and learn about what they really want. And I was thinking if we could do something in the crowd to attract, I guess, the low lifes, the lowest of the low, and try to get like into their circle. Like I'm trying to explain his like Neslan has a plan as if he's trying to like. So he was his mind right now. He's thinking of like taking a poster and like vandalizing it in front of the crowd and to kind of create like a circle. So he's explaining this whole kind of like plan, and then people like would like join in kind of thing. So that's his plan. Yeah, he's telling this to Misha.
That's a good idea, but which side would we take? I mean, we want them to have a good opinion of the resistance and also have faith in their king once more.
Sometimes we gotta break a few laws to really learn what the people want. And so Neslan looks around for like a poster or something, and then of the king's face. Is there anything of the king's face basically?
Yeah,
or his,
there
his
is.
old face. So yeah, I'll take whatever that is, and Neslan just wants like the face of the king basically as like a printout. And yeah.
Oh, Neslan, I got an idea. Here, take some of this jam.
Yeah, your backpack comes to life at the command word.
Oh no! I forgot.
No, it's fine. But I don't break my disguise, do I? No.
Is it concentration?
No,
Do I break my disguise?
it doesn't break your disguise.
Oh no, okay.
I think you're just you have a disguise and you're wearing the jetpack.
That'll give you some height. You can reach the top of his face.
Yeah. So do I manage to? Should I roll for like I don't know arts and crafts or something? I don't know to pick up the to chop up the. Basically, what I do
no,
is
you
I
can.
want
I
to grab
mean,
the poster.
you have alchemist tools, so you probably have like a pair of scissors, or at least for like snipping.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Put the jam at it.
You say it again. This time the jetpack takes off.
Yeah. So.
Make a couple feet in the air and then you come back down.
So what basically I do is I are we in the center of the crowd?
No. You're still outside of the crowd.
Like all the way in the back.
Yeah. So I want to get like in there. Is there like a point where like the most people could have eyes on me? Like I kind of want to do like a performance basically, like a mini speech. Is there like a couple boxes near the crowd that I could get on top of because I'm small, something like that.
But him not flying on a jetpack kind of brings some attention already.
Nah, that'd be too much. That'd be like, why is this common have a fucking jetpack?
Well, you definitely grab a few eyes of people like still arriving. But yeah, you could use the jetpack. At the center of the square, there are like several statues in like a garden section, an open garden that normally would be beautiful, but now it's just like kind of covered with people and with these flyers. So you could find a high spot to maybe go up on one of the statues. There are also along the wall of establishments, there are crates and things, and you could probably find some high ground. But as you're looking around,
yeah. So what I want to do.
We enter.
About that. I think as you're standing there, someone kind of like comes up to the two of you and goes, "Oh, you're not guild members." And he sort of looks at your wrists and then goes, "No matter. Here, one for each of you." And he hands you these flasks, these glass flasks with sort of like this clear liquid inside.
I yell it to Neslan. I don't know if he's still in the air. Nessun, look! An ambiguous liquid!
What about it? Does you want me to drink it?
No, he,
I
he hands it to the two of you, and he goes, "Oh, hey, nifty machine you got there. Where'd you find it?"
It was my grandpa's. I
Oh.
actually don't know how it works.
No,
I'm trying to act
look
dumb,
at it like,
basically.
I wouldn't mind buying it off you if it's for sale.
Maybe later. I got a couple things to attend to first.
All right. Well, he just kind of like looks as if he has to like be somewhere in the crowd, and he goes,
Wait.
just hold on to these. You'll know when to use them. All right."
What?
And he rushes off.
There's extra pets
Uh-oh.
for pets that was redeemed
These pets?
That's your pets!
by Indigo Sherlock, our number one
Indigo?
redeemer this stream.
Wow.
Oh,
Thank you, Indigo Sherlock. I
pups!
love you.
It's a cat. Yo.
Pets.
Oh, look at that sweetheart. Oh my gosh, pretty princess.
So yeah, you guys are given these vials, and right as you're given these, you hear a kind of loud screech noise that kind of goes over the dark market square, and everyone sort of hushes. And you see on the dock, on the raised platform, there are three individuals, and one, a very, very large man, kind of steps forward and he grabs something, looks just like a metal rod in his hand, and he puts it up to his mouth, and he goes, "People of Windrow, it is I, Guild Lord Golf Fenneky, in the flesh. I stand here today with all of you in defiance," and he points out across the lake to the ships, "of King Congrith and their so-called resistance." People start cheering in the crowd. Just as he's starting his speech, we're going to save it for next week.
Baines! I didn't know this
Brother.
is.
Enjoy.
We are
Right,
going
vodka.
to start with his
Sean.
speech at the Dark Market Square as Taurus and Lyria make their way there, potentially meeting other guild lords along the way or at the square. Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. I said next week, but it's not going to be next week. It's going to be the week after. Did I say next week? Either way.
What's next week?
We are going to pick back up next week, Tuesday, with the other group. And then the week after that, we will resume with everyone here.
The Guild Wars arc.
The Guild Wars.
Ah,
So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. It is an honor to be able to DM for all of you. Hope you enjoyed it. And you can find us on all the social medias: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Threads. No, nobody uses Threads anymore.
Rip.
Perhaps a blue
Did I say
sky?
Facebook?
Blue Sky Social.
Meta. X. Don't forget X.
No. We still call it
Ah.
Twitter here, okay?
OG
We
Twitter.
still call it Twitter. So tune in next week to find out what happened to the other group at the desert
worst
dig site that got attacked just as they returned from the Athenaeum, to find out what happened there and to find out where they will be going from there. So again, thank you very much. We are the Hexagon, and we are Hexagon. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Hexa, bye-bye.
Hasta la vista.
Bye-bye.